The episode picks up right where we left off. Park Jung-ja arrives at the Sodo law firm, visibly shaken. She tells lawyer Min Hye-jin that she desperately needs help because she has received a decree and is bound for hell. Min Hye-jin doesn't understand what she means at first, so she asks her to clarify. Jung-ja explains that she went to meet Chairman Jung of the New Truth. He offered her 3 billion won if she allows them to broadcast her live demonstration to the entire world when the execution happens. She still has doubts about whether the decree is real, but she desperately needs that money to secure her children's future. She wants legal representation to ensure the money is legally bound and paid directly to her kids. Min Hye-jin urges caution, telling her not to rush into a decision like this. Broadcasting the event will leak her identity, making life unbearable for her children if people find out. But Jung-ja breaks down and asks, what if it is real? What if I really die 5 days from now? How are my children going to survive? She makes it clear that if Sodo law firm won't help her, she will find someone else who will. Hearing this, Hyejin's colleague steps in and assures Jung-ja that they will take the case. Hyejin asks her colleague to step outside to speak privately. She asks him if he is seriously going to let this woman go through with a live broadcast. Her colleague scoffs, asking if she genuinely believes 3 massive monsters are going to show up in 5 days to take her. He believes the entire thing is a total scam and sees this as the ultimate opportunity to expose the new truth as a fraud. Plus, Ms. Park has nothing left to lose. Hyejin asks the obvious question, what if the monsters actually show up? Her colleague replies that even if the worst happens, it's still better for her to secure the money now so her children are provided for. Hyejin reluctantly agrees. They decide to report the situation to the police while finding a way to get her children out of the public eye. Sodo law firm officially takes the case. Is she really going to die in 5 days? Let's find out together. Later that evening, Min Hye-jin arrives at her home. Here, we learn that she lives with her mother, who is battling cancer. Hyejin is furious when she finds her mother smoking a cigarette inside. Her mother looks up, confused, and asks, what's wrong with you today? Why are you so cranky? Hyejin unloads her anxiety, telling her mother all about the terrifying monsters and the prophecies. Hearing this, her mother simply laughs and cracks a joke. Hyejin asks how she can be so calm and whether any of this scares her. Her mother softly replies, why should I be afraid? One way or another, we all have to leave this world one day. The scene shifts to Ms. Park's house. She sits silently in the dark, crying as she watches her 2 children sleeping peacefully. The next day, Detective Jin receives a phone call from Min Hye-jin while sitting in a police department case meeting. She lays out all the details of Park Jung-ja's situation and the upcoming contract. Shortly after, everyone gathers at a meeting space to sign the agreement. In the middle of signing the documents, Chairman Young Jin-soo looks over the family files and asks about the children's father. He points out that there are no photos of him anywhere in the house. Ms. Park quietly replies that she is a single mother. Lawyer Min Hye-jin steps in, telling Ms. Park that she isn't obligated to answer his personal questions. But Chairman Young continues to press her, demanding to know how she gave birth to 2 children without a father present. He insists he needs to know her history to understand the exact sin that bound her to hell. Overhearing this from the other room, Ms. Park's young son storms out in a rage, demanding to know what his mother could have possibly done wrong to deserve hell. Ms. Park quickly takes her son back into the room, telling him to stay inside with his sister and not to come out. She steps back out to face Chairman Young and says, I don't care what you think of me. I only care about securing a better future for my children. She turns to lawyer Hyejin and tells her that finalizing the contract is entirely in her hands now. She begs Hyejin to send her children somewhere safe. Chairman Young finishes signing and leaves to attend a meeting with the landowner. Afterward, Detective Jin asks Hyejin what her plan is for the kids. She reveals that she is sending them to Canada to stay with her cousin in 2 days. If nothing happens at the end of the 5 days, they can return, or Ms. Park can join them abroad. The scene shifts to the skull-masked Arrowhead streamer, who is live on air screaming that the new truth is broadcasting a live demonstration. Citizens across the country are glued to the stream. Suddenly, a mysterious user enters the live chat and leaks the private identities, personal details, and home addresses of Ms. Park and her children. Who could this leaker be? Is it someone close to Ms. Park, or someone inside Chairman Young's inner circle? A moment later, we discover the truth. The person who leaked Ms. Park's private information is none other than Detective Jin's own partner, Officer Hong Eun-pyo, who is secretly a devout follower of the Arrowhead gang. Meanwhile, Detective Jin calls his daughter, Hee-jung. She isn't home. When he asks where she is, she lies, claiming she is staying overnight at a friend's house and will head straight to school tomorrow. In reality, she is sitting inside Chairman Young's private office. She opens up to Young about the night her mother died. She explains that on that day, her mother asked her to bring a jacket to her father at work. Hee-jung forgot to do it, so her mother went out to deliver it herself. and that was the exact moment she was ambushed and murdered. Hee-jung carries heavy guilt, believing her mother would still be alive if she hadn't forgotten the jacket. Back on the road, Detective Jin receives an urgent text message from lawyer Hye-jin asking if he has seen the internet stream. He calls her immediately as she is driving Ms. Park's children to the airport. On his way to meet them, Detective Jin calls his partner, Hong Eun-pyo, unaware that Eun-pyo is the leaker, and orders him to guard Ms. Park's house and arrest anyone suspicious on sight. Eun-pyo asks Jin where he is going, and Jin admits he is heading to the airport to ensure the kids leave the country safely. Meanwhile, the Arrowhead streamer goes live again, exposing Ms. Park as the victim of the upcoming demonstration. He spews hateful rumors, claiming she had 2 children by 2 different men, and suggesting she might have murdered them for insurance money. He broadcasts the faces of her young children directly to thousands of viewers. The scene shifts to a drunk man stumbling down a dark street. Nearby, Chairman Jung is parked in a car with Detective Jin's daughter. Jung points to the drunk man and tells Hee-jung, "That is the man who brutally murdered your mother." Jung turns to her and asks, "Are you sure you won't regret this later?" Without saying a word, Hee-jung steps out of the car, walks up to the man, and electrocutes him unconscious with a taser. Over at the airport, lawyer Hye-jin arrives with Ms. Park and the children. She instructs Ms. Park to wait outside for Detective Jin while she escorts the kids inside to their gate. While waiting near the gate, Ms. Park's young daughter steps away to use the restroom. After a few minutes, her brother grows worried and knocks on the bathroom door, but an adult man walks out instead. Panicked, the brother searches the terminal and spots his little sister talking to an elderly woman who is asking, "Where is your mother?" He rushes over, grabs his sister's hand, and pulls her back to their seats. He tells her not to make any noise until the flight lands. When the little girl innocently asks, "When is mom coming with us?" her brother breaks down in tears, unable to answer. Detective Jin arrives at the airport just as Hye-jin gets a confirmation call from the flight crew that the children are safely on board. Outside the terminal, Ms. Park breaks down crying, heartbroken that she couldn't say a proper goodbye to her children. The scene shifts to a secluded, abandoned greenhouse. Chairman Jung uses chloroform to knock out the drunk murderer once again as he begins to regain consciousness. Together with Hee-jung, they douse the man in fuel and burn him alive. As the murderer's screams echo through the night, a dark, vengeful smile appears on Hee-jung's face. The next morning, police reporters gather at the burnt greenhouse after authorities discover charred human remains, along with the murderer's identification wallet. Back at the police station, Detective Jin is frantically trying to call his daughter, but her phone goes straight to voicemail. 2 of his fellow officers approach his desk and tell him the squad chief wants to see him immediately. Jin walks into the chief's office, where the chief is staring intently at a news broadcast. The chief points to the screen and tells Jin to watch. Jin learns that the man who murdered his wife years ago has been found burned to death. The chief looks at Jin suspiciously and asks, "You didn't have anything to do with this, did you?" Jin replies, "No, not at all. I was at the airport making Jungja's kids safely boarded their flight to Canada after their location was leaked." Outside Park Jungja's home, massive crowds of angry protesters gather, chanting for her to come out and confess her sins to God. At the same time, news breaks in lawyer Hye-jin's office that every major television network across the globe will be broadcasting tomorrow's demonstration live. Back at the police station, Detective Jin is still trying to reach his daughter when a brick suddenly shatters the station window. Before the officers can react, a mob of masked Arrowhead gang members bursts into the station, destroying property, beating police officers, and demanding the immediate release of their arrested members. Finally, the day of the demonstration arrives. The area surrounding Park Jung-ja's house has been transformed into a massive, arena-like venue with grandstands. VIPs wearing elaborate metallic masks arrive to watch the live execution in person. Just before the event begins, lawyer Hye-jin receives a suspicious package delivered by her colleague. What is inside this package? Detective Jin arrives at the scene with a full tactical team, ordering his officers to intervene immediately if anything looks wrong. The clock ticks down. Time is up. Millions of people across the world watch their screens in dead silence. The final countdown reaches 0. A deafening sound echoes through the air, and the episode cuts to black on a massive cliffhanger. Will Park Jung-ja actually be executed by the monsters? Who sent that mystery package to lawyer Hye-jin? And is it part of a trap to destroy her? We will find out all these answers in episode 3. Subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.